Hi, I'm Barbara Rimkunis, and this is your Exeter History Minute. When you've watched our History Minutes before, you might notice that usually there's something behind me. It's this bust of Republican Congressman Amos Tuck. We'll talk about Tuck in the future because there's quite a story there. But right now, let's talk about the sculptor of this piece, Exeter's Daniel Chester French. Born in 1850, Dan was the fourth child of Henry Flagg French, a popular judge in town. A few months after Dan's birth, the family moved from Court Street to a spacious house on Pine Street, although you won't find it there anymore because it was moved in 1965 to Marston Street to make room for Christ Church. Young Dan was a thoughtful, happy child. There's a great story about this photo. When his wife later showed it to their young daughter Margaret, she asked, "Do you know who this is?" And Margaret is said to have replied, "It's Daddy when he was a little girl." But it's just how children were dressed back then. Young Dan was educated in Exeter public schools until the age of 10, when the family moved to Massachusetts. French apparently showed no particular artistic talent until he was about 18 years old. By this time, the family was living in Concord, Massachusetts. He took to sculpture with a passion. He took art lessons from his neighbor, May Alcott, Louisa May Alcott's sister. When he was just 21, he was hired by the town of Concord to create a statue to commemorate the Battle of Concord in 1775. You probably know it, the Concord Minuteman. It's on the town seal today, and it's been used for everything, including war bonds during World War II. French wasn't there for the dedication, however. He left to study in Italy for a year. When he returned, the United States was going through a blossoming of public art. He and his friend Augustus St. Gaudens became two of the most popular artists in the Beaux-Arts movement. Along with the Minuteman, French sculpted the John Harvard statue that now stands in Harvard Yard, a challenging work to complete since there are no known pictures of the real John Harvard. He sculpted Columbia University's alma mater. You can actually make quite a game of looking for Daniel Chester French's statues. They seem to be everywhere. He made this statue of fellow Exeter native Lewis Cass. You can find this one in Statuary Hall in the Capitol Rotunda in Washington, D.C. And of course, while you're there, don't forget to look at French's most famous work, Abraham Lincoln, in the Lincoln Memorial. For this project, French worked with his architectural partner, Henry Bacon, who designed the building. So at this point, it seems like Exeter's relationship to French ended when he was a boy of 10. But French never forgot his hometown. He convinced his friend Henry Bacon to design the Swayze Pavilion. And after World War I, when the town was looking for a monument to remember the soldiers, French and Bacon teamed up again to design Mother Town and Soldier Son, which stands today in Gale Park. The statue was dedicated on the 4th of July in 1922. If it seems weird that our memorial statue wasn't dedicated on Memorial Day, it's for a good reason. On Memorial Day in 1922, French was in Washington, D.C. at the dedication of the Lincoln Memorial. There he sat near Robert Todd Lincoln, the president's only surviving son who had attended Phillips Exeter Academy from 1859 to 1860. I always wonder if the two men made that Exeter connection that day. Maybe they did. Maybe they talked about our town. Maybe they asked one another, "Do you have any idea why it's called Dogtown Road?" I don't know either, guys. This History Minute was brought to you by the law firm of Donahue, Tucker and Schindella. If you enjoy the Exeter History Minutes and want to keep them coming, you can join the Exeter Historical Society by going to our website, www.exeterhistory.org. We need your support.